Most wholesalers never scale.
Not because they're bad at sales,
but because they don't have a system that runs without them. Today, I'm gonna break down exactly how you can use paid advertising to build a 7-figure wholesaling company without ever running any cold call or burning yourself to the ground. Here's the truth, scaling is not just about getting more deals. It's about getting a consistent, predictable lead flow. It's about structuring your business so you can handle more volume without having to work extra 100 hours every time that you're getting more deals. And it's about hiring the right people that will give you time back, such as virtual assistants, lead managers, acquisition, disposition managers, so you can focus on closing, not chasing every lead, so you can actually live your real estate dream. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build a paid ads machine that generates motivated sellers on demand. And structure your operations so you can handle more deal flow. Hire, train, and manage virtual assistants and remote employees to keep your pipeline full without you doing all the work. So if you want a 7-figure wholesaling business without burning out and actually achieving more and properly leveraging yourself without having to spend hundreds of hours, hear me out, this video is for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Esteban Andrade. I am the founder of 2 companies, Hustle Media and RemoteLatinos.com, and we've helped over 400 real estate investors and wholesalers across the United States generate millions of dollars by doing something right. Paid advertising. So we've spent over $15 million in advertising in the last 4 years. To learn these few things, I'm gonna teach you to you for free today. The first point to hit home run here is that scalability actually requires consistent lead flow. If you don't have a consistent lead flow, forget about scaling. Everything is about marketing and sales in this game. So that means that you need to generate leads and learn how to close those leads consistently. In order to do this, you have to choose a marketing channel that has consistency and predictability. So if you are just buying, let's say 50 leads on a pay-per-lead marketing channel or like a pay-per-lead platform, which is actually not a marketing channel, it's just a source that they actually source from different type of lead generation channels, and you're only gonna buy that, forget about that. You need consistency. Think on the long term, not how many leads I'm gonna buy today or how many months I'm gonna do, but like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this work so that when I come into this channel, I go all in and I actually make it work. You have to choose one, especially at the very beginning, and be able to scale that up to at least generating consistent 20K, 40K months. If you're not generating at least multiple 5 figures from one marketing channel at the very beginning, and you try to diversify yourself with many different marketing channels, 1, you're not going to be able to master anything and you become a master of none. And 2, you're going to go crazy because one marketing channel can be very different from each other. So for example, cold calling requires you to be calling every single day and actually having a stamina of about 6 to 9 months, especially when you're starting out, in order to close your first deal. You can 100% go on the agency side and like hire an agency to help you with that, or hire a virtual assistant that can help you with cold calling. You can also do it yourself, but you're gonna have to sacrifice time, or the other one, you have to sacrifice money. What's best? Like, what is it that you actually currently have right now? And what are you willing to give up? In my sense, I am always willing to actually pay an agency and see how the agency thinks about this, how they run this. And if I want to figure out how to bring it in-house, I will even pay the agency extra to be able to teach me exactly what they do and how they actually work. And slowly I'll be taking systems that they actually teach me and put it inside of my operations. But at the very beginning, you have to think cold calling channels will take so long for you to actually get one deal, because a cold calling will take you over 50 leads to even acquire your first deal. And sometimes it could be 70 leads, 80 leads whenever you're beginning. If you are someone that is experienced already, well, cold calling might have already given you some traction, but you know that you actually require to hire experienced cold callers to even add 1 or 2 more deals per month, because one cold caller should be giving you 2 to 3 leads per day, and that could potentially result in 1 deal per month if that's done well, and sometimes 2. So how much energy and time do you want to actually invest into calling 50, 60 leads and having conversations with these people to acquire just 1? SMS marketing is gone. Like a lot of people started doing it, and the actual efficacy of this has decreased over time, where SMS used to be one of the best marketing channels in the past, but now because of rules and regulations, that has changed. So there's no consistency. And with cold calling, if you don't hire the right cold caller, if they don't have their KPIs well laid out and they don't have the right training for their cold callers where they actually are consistent, you can have a lot of inconsistency with this marketing channel. Yes, a lot of people have actually cracked the code of cold calling, but it's something that I don't really recommend, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And obviously, you generating a referral-based marketing channel, such as reaching out to real estate agents, it could be something that can be done really well if you do it properly, kind of like how Jamil Damji from the Astro Flipping community has taught, where you actually reach out to real estate agents and you basically create a relationship with a lot of real estate agents to hopefully get a lot of referral seller leads from them, and then you create this machine. But that takes time and takes a lot of relationship building. You have to create a referral system so that they hopefully send you something. You want predictability. You want to be able to take $1 and predictably tell the machine to give you $3, $4, $5 back. So this is where paid advertising comes in and solves that problem. Paid advertising is one of the most predictable and measurable ways for you to actually put yourself in front of many people at the same time. Cold calling is usually a one-to-one type of marketing channel. If you're cold calling someone, you're talking with someone one-on-one to hopefully generate a motivated seller lead, to hopefully speak with someone that do need to sell their house and have a high motivation. While when you do paid advertising, you're actually doing one-to-many. Have you ever heard of Alex Ramosi talking about the many ways to actually generate leads from his $100 million leads book? Well, he talks about when you do one-to-many, like paid advertising, you're paying Meta, Instagram, you Google, TikTok, YouTube, pennies in the dollars to actually be in front of people on their phone screen or their computer at the same time every single day, every single hour. So you're paying pennies on the dollars to be in front of the potential customer that really is going to become familiar with you and is going to see your ad, whether that's in the shape of a static picture or in a video. And guess what? This creates familiarity, which familiarity breeds trust. And you know what trust does? It actually breeds sales. So now you're actually getting to 100 people to watch your video at the same time, as opposed to try to dial 100 people a day and hopefully one or two actually pick up to generate a lead. So the power of social media marketing, the power of Google marketing will allow you to reach millions in a matter of just a few months. And the best part is that these machines, we call it machine learning, and the algorithms that Facebook, marketing, Instagram has actually created, they don't sleep. Bots don't sleep. They are running every single day. I don't know if you ever noticed, but even if you go to Instagram or Facebook at night and you have spoken about potentially buying shoes or fixing your pipe or whatever is going on at your house, you're going to receive an ad about that at any given point. So about 40% or more of motivated sellers actually come during the day, and about 60% come at night. So that means there's a lot of activity of people that really need to sell their house at night. And because there's no cold callers that are going to be staying up at night calling, there's no SMS campaigns running at that time, or there's no real estate agents that are at night. Paid advertising just makes sense to actually capture those people that are night owls, or they're just at home trying to rest or trying to be on the couch or trying to solve their problem late at night. And you know that that happens a lot. Think about a time that you've been so stressed during the day and you just want to go home to hopefully relax and put some time into solving something that you couldn't do during the day. So that's how a motivated seller ultimately also behaves. Another key point is quality over quantity. We want to generate less leads, but better leads. You want to be able to focus on leads that are actually marketing qualified, which are actually people that have an intentionality. I have created a training somewhere in a podcast where I talk about the 5 stages of customer awareness. And this famous marketer, which I actually forgot the name of, but he actually talks about the 5 stages. It goes from unaware person all the way to aware, fully aware. And the 5 stages goes like this. There's this unaware individual that doesn't even know that they actually have the problem. And somehow someone is going to poke this individual, let them know that there is a problem, and boom, this person might wake up from their dream. And this is what cold calling is all about. This is what SMS is all about, because you're pulling list of people that are going through issues they might be unaware of just yet. So you cold call them, you actually call them, and you trigger some sort of motivation. However, with paid advertising, you're not going to go to unaware people. You're going to go to people that have, which is the second stage, problem aware. So they're aware that there is a problem. Now, they might not have started actually searching for some sort of solution, but that's what the third stage is all about, solution aware. So the third stage is a motivated seller that is problem aware and is also solution aware. So they know that someone out there has some sort of solution and is actively looking for that solution, whether that's in a Facebook group, whether that's like chatting with the friends. And as a matter of fact, Facebook, Instagram, and all these channels will listen to their conversations because that's how creepy it is. And you're going to be able to target those people, right? Hyper target those people with the proper advertising. And then what's the fourth one? The fourth one would be a service or product aware. So there's someone that already know they have a problem, already know that there's some sort of solution, but they're doing active searches online. Again, social media, Google, and they actually have seen different services or products that they're aware that this exists. So how good would it be talking about someone that is actually aware that there's some sort of solution, so they know they have a problem, that they also are looking for some sort of service. And the last one, which is fully aware, with this person is very, very hot, probably doesn't have a lot of time to wait to find some sort of solution. And this is where we find people in Google or retargeted people from Facebook that already have done a job search. And I actually did a video on Facebook, and 10 things I actually learned from Facebook is that they actually have built a bot that scrapes Google information to also targets people that are fully aware, that are actually doing search online. And the beautiful thing is that these people are targeted tactically. They're intentionally looking to sell a house, and we don't have to talk with so many. We just have to talk to a few and be able to control how many we want to talk to. And then whenever time comes, we want to be able to increase the advertising spend so that we talk with more of those. The only way for you to actually target these people is a few points. One, you have to have a great copywriting technique. So it speaks with your audience. Think about your ad copy, specifically calling out your audience, specifically calling out the location, specifically calling out the pain point that these people have or the biggest desires that they actually solve. And once you do that and you do a proper copywriting in the ad copy where you have a hook, you lay out the feature and benefits, and you tell them what to do, now this algorithm is going to pick up on this and it's going to show it to the specific people. Images will make sure that these people stop and be interested in your ad. Or videos will not only make them stop, but once they actually watch the videos, they'll be primed to be a better sellers and warm them up in your company, in your brand, and whoever's in the video, so that they can actually go in with more confidence to click on the ad and potentially give you the information about selling their house and about the property that they actually have to sell. And with proper targeting, if you, for example, upload thousands of emails and potentially match them on YouTube, this way we're going to be able to actually target potential people that are in some sort of issue, and Facebook actually learns even more from better data. A very key thing that you can actually do with Facebook and Google is that if you have data of marketed qualified leads, or leads that actually have booked an appointment, or leads that you have actually put under contract, or leads that you actually have closed, you can actually upload this data and have feedback loops with Facebook and social media so that it can potentially bring you more of those people that look like that, right? And the last point of that is that tracking is everything. measuring your KPIs and know where you are, actually, it's going to allow you, because what doesn't get tracked doesn't get improved. Have you ever heard that saying that if you're going full speed and you can't actually know what the speed of your vehicle is right now, and you turn so fast that you might flip over and lose control of your car? Well, maybe I actually came up with that. It's the same thing. If you're driving a car, if you don't know how much oil you got, what amount of gas you have, the speed you got, whatever's lacking in the engine, whether temperature or tire pressure is, you literally have no control over how fast or how slow you're going into a track. You will lose control. The same thing happens with your marketing, and the same thing happens with your sales. So if you have no control of your costs and you don't understand your cost per lead, you don't understand your cost per converting that lead into an appointment. And for example, with paid advertising, it's so simple to shape up a form and have conditional formatting, or with paid advertising, it's so simple to shape up a form and have conditional logic that allows you to really qualify people, and only those that actually go through turn into a marketed qualified lead based on a scoring system that you give to that form. So for people that answer, I need to sell my house ASAP, fast, instead of like 1 or 4 weeks, well, those people are a score 4, for example. And then there's another level that could be a score 3. And based on that conditional logic, you're able to actually know how much of a market qualified lead based on the scoring once they actually opt in fully. And you can also give different type of conditions to your paid advertising leads so that you know whether this person is worth it or not, so that you know how much you're actually paying per a market qualified lead. As well, if you know how many offers you're actually giving to these people based on, let's say, a sample of 10 leads, or how many contracts you're actually getting, you're able to actually understand what's your cost on advertising. So if you're spending $100 a day, or let's just say $200 a day, and you're generating 2 highly qualified leads per day, and you're closing 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 15, and then you know the cost of a actual lead generated, you will understand what is the cost to acquire one client, one deal. These things are the things that you need to understand. What's your cost per lead, cost per appointment, cost per offer, your cost per contract, what's your cost per deal? And it's easier to reverse engineer these numbers and know exactly what you need to achieve or what you need to do in order to achieve those numbers. That way you're able to really budget exactly how much money you need for advertising. I'll give you an example. If the average cost per deal on all marketing channels, usually for you, is $3,000, so that means that you're able to budget $3,000 to acquire one deal while still having marketing stamina and understanding that it's still going to take time to close that deal. So every month, over and over, you're going to be spending $3,000 a month, and taking into account any length of closing one deal from lead to actually money in the bank, then in the next 3 to 6 months, that consistency will give you one contract or 2 per month. And let's just say you end up closing 65 to 75% of those contracts. So 7 out of 10 will actually go through. You'll make money out of that. And now you have a better way to actually measure how many deals you're going to get. But obviously those numbers right now are on average that we see in the market. You have your own numbers. Sometimes the cost per deal might be lower based on where you're located, based on your market, based on your team, based on the offer or acquisition method that you have, your sales process, the skills that you guys have, ultimately your follow-up, and maybe the mindset that you have on every single lead, so that you can actually put in more effort to convert that into money. So if you have an understanding of your cost, now you're able to reverse engineer and understand how much ad spend you need in order to get to the 5 deals a month, because now your cost per contract, your cost per deal and you know exactly how many contracts actually do go through, now we will know out of the bat, like, I'm going to be spending X amount of money to acquire 5 deals. And let's just say cost per deal is 3,000. That means we need 5. Well, that's $15,000 per month that you need to spend on advertising. Let's just say it's $4,000. Well, that is going to be $20,000 for 5 deals, and so on. The better costs understanding and the more granular you're able to be, the more you're going to be able to understand what's going to be your return of investment. If you're looking to have a healthy return of investment, look at 3x of return of advertising spend at the very minimum, well, while always holding yourself accountable of having 4 or 5x. So if you're getting $4 or $5 out of $1 to put in, that's very healthy. Continue doing that. The second thing is structuring your business to have an increased deal flow. A lot of times, more leads mean more deals. But this is only applicable if your systems don't break. So if you don't have a way to actually sustain the lead volume as you increase this over time, and you have an intake system that absolutely sucks, makes all the leads fall through a crack, you can't make the leads talk to you because it's hard to talk to the leads because you're not able to get a hold of them, or they just fall through a crack. You start lacking time, you start getting way too busy, or you just don't know where to find the lead information or so. Or even if you call them, they're not going to pick up the phone because it's too late. Ultimately, there's a rule in paid advertising is that if you take more than 2 minutes to actually give them a call after the lead has been generated, the chances for the lead to pick up the phone decreases significantly. Every single minute after that, if you're not able to actually get them on the phone, your conversion chances to close that deal is going to be decreasing exponentially. If you get a hold of someone within 5 minutes, the chances for you to convert that deal increases by at least 300%. And this is data that I've actually been researching. The faster that you actually do a speed to lead, your chances of actually talking with that seller and converting deal, it goes from 60 to 300% over than if you just wait even 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. The longer you wait, the harder that's going to happen. So that's why it's important to have an intake system that relies on inside sales agents or people that are going to pick up the phone for you at any given time. So we have created, for example, a fractionalized call center that calls these leads right away as soon as they have opted in, whether that's 9 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. and these people are attentive. There's some services out there that literally work 24/7, and you can connect your paid advertising campaigns to actually ensure that you're calling these leads ASAP. And if they pick up the phone, make sure that they're fully trained on triaging these people or going over an intro script or a discovery script quickly, figuring out motivation, condition of property, urgency, and lowest acceptable cash offer, and give a live transfer to you if you're active or book an appointment for you. That's something that we have actually been able to set up in both of our businesses. The second thing is that your CRM is your best friend. Make sure that whatever you set up, you use it correctly. But your CRM has to have the ability to be creating workflows and automations in a way that makes your life much easier, which essentially returns time back to you. So if there's usually 10 steps that are manual, that CRMs that are clunky, that make you do 10 steps, find something that those 10 steps become 6 steps, 5 steps, because it shortens the effort that you have to do, because now we have automations, workflows, things that as soon as the lead comes in, 5 different things, such as creating tasks, giving you notifications, creating a delay for an email and then a text message, or making sure that they call you and remind you, ultimately having an AI conversation. And you can use the proper CRMs to make sure that leads don't fall through a crack, that they actually become organized. And CRMs like Investor Fuse are huge, or Go High Level CRM, which, by the way, we have built a CRM based of Go High Level called REI Rocket Force, and you can find it in the comments below. Or Investor Fuse is another huge CRM that we use. A lot of wholesalers have been using Podio, but I personally do not like Podio because it's clunky and it actually takes a lot of development to actually make it work. In the meantime, CRMs like Go High Level, you can actually build things because it's a very no-code friendly platform that allows you to do a lot of automations. The same thing for Investor Fuse. You should be able to take a look at those, and they range usually from $97 all the way to $200, $300 a month. But it's very worth it because it returns time back to you. And that's one of the few things that I've learned is that the more leverage I get out of something, the more valuable it's going to become for me. A follow-up game here is going to be very key. 80% of your deals are going to come after the first contact. Imagine that. So if you don't have a proper system, CRM, that uses automations with SMS, so text messages, emails, maybe drops ringless voicemails automatically or calls the leads or reminds you automatically, then it's going to be harder for you to actually do more than 1 to 2, 3 contacts. And most wholesalers cannot even do 5 contact attempts to get a hold of the seller, or even after they have spoken with the seller, to continuously actually trying to get a hold of the seller. Now, most leads actually pick up after, listen to me, the 4th to 11th contact attempt. It means that you need to be consistent, perseverant in order for a seller to pick up the phone. That's why you got to use automation to help yourself. Go High Level is perfect for this. Last thing is qualification is very crucial. So if you structure your qualification criteria so that you're only talking or mostly talking with people that have high likelihood that they're going to be coming an appointment, which is a market qualified lead, people that you know you're going to be able to give them offers, people that you know there's a higher probability to get them on a contract, the more that you talk with these people by creating a qualification criteria on your form, then the higher likelihood that you're going to close more deals because you're doing 1 out of 15 because now you're speaking with better people. And this can only happen if, as a salesperson or someone that is actually getting on the phones, can give feedback to anyone that is managing your advertising campaign. This is going to be a media buyer or an advertising specialist, someone that is going inside of that account and just pushing for the best type of results. Remember that advertising is going to be about a lot of testing. So if there is an ad if there is a campaign where there is a white blonde lady that has blue eyes that gets a lot of attention, but this person has leads very, very cheap, but none of those leads are actually converting into deals. But we have this red hair woman that does get some attention, not as much as this blue-eyed blonde chick. And this red hair woman just ultimately has maybe a higher cost per lead, but does get attention from the right people, and whatever that she's saying is actually bringing in more qualified leads. We cannot actually know that if we don't get feedback from the sales department. Once they speak on the phone, we know that type of lead, we track it, we know where that comes from, and if that ad from the woman that is red hair has better results, even though the cost per lead is higher, we're just going to push more advertising traffic to that one. And we're going to turn off the one that is the blonde chick, blue eye, to the red hair woman, because the data tells us that this person is performing better. And the same thing applies to different things that we do with the advertising, whether that's ad copy, whether that's changing the offer, whether that's the image itself, or a targeting that we do in the campaign. But nothing of that can actually be achieved without the actual feedback. The third thing is hiring, training, managing, recruiting, finding the best virtual assistants to give you time back, to use other people's time. And usually, most of the time, the first virtual assistants that you should be hiring in order to get time back are executive assistants and lead managers. And these people will help you book more appointments and also get your admin tasks, things that you know you need to do on a daily basis, such as protecting your calendar, or, reminding you important things to do, or even just taking calls. These people are going to take care of this. And also helping you follow up or following up with you with potential clients, sellers, or buyers. So stop doing $5, $6, $7, $10 an hour task when you know you need to focus on closing deals. Is your time really worth $5 an hour, $6 an hour, $10 an hour, even $15 an hour, where you should be closing deals? Well, virtual assistants actually go from $5 to $7, $8 an hour, and they can do so much more than you can do because they're actually focused on just doing those things. While you, as a founder and business owner, you know that you should be doing a lot. You know that you have a lot of things to do. And even if you have experience, you know that you should be hyper focused on the higher leverage stakes. So if you really want to create a scalable 7-figure business, you have to hire virtual assistants. So hire them to answer inbound calls, following up with warm leads, data entry or CRM management, doing cold outreach or warm outreach, where they're actually following up with your pipeline, trying to reactivate leads, or just following up for you, making sure that these people actually get a hold of sellers faster than you and at points where you may be becoming too busy. These are the places that you can actually hire these people from. Onlinejobs.ph, Upwork, Fiverr, or the Remote Latinos Marketplace. So if you go to app.remotelatinос.com, you're going to be able to find Latin American virtual assistants and remote employees that are highly capable of doing those tasks, those things operationally that is going to take you to the next level. There's a lot of people that have experience exactly on the role that you need. All you need to do is to have a proper job description, a role, the responsibilities, the requirements, and the results that these people actually need to do in order to buy back your time. I actually have trainings about this in my YouTube channel where you can check it out. I exactly go on how to find a virtual assistant or remote employee in less than an hour. You're going to be able to do that for yourself. Someone that is $5 an hour, $4 an hour, $6 an hour, $7 an hour, and is going to change your business. And make sure that these virtual assistants have a training process. So step 1, create standard operating procedures, SOPs, playbooks, and scripts so that they can actually follow something that is repeatable. So for example, scripts for lead intake is going to be very important. Have a lead intake script, a discovery script, and for instance, if you were to hire acquisitions, have an entire pitch or offer script so that they actually follow it. Step 2, to train these people, is to have recorded conversations that you're going to give them of you following the exact process. And this could be 5, 10 that they have to listen, take down notes on, and then just ultimately use it for training. And the third thing is set up KPIs. So everyone needs results to attain. These KPIs could be conversion ratio, speed to lead, response time, number of dials they got to do per day, number of appointments that they got to achieve every day, every week. And set up specific KPIs that is achievable for your appointment setters, your lead managers, your acquisition, anyone that you're going to be hiring to help you get your time. So this is how you actually scale to 7 figures. So once you actually know that a system is working, a marketing channel is working, you got to dump more into it. You're going to dump more money into it. You got to put in more effort. Make sure that if something is working, go all in into that. Don't go into this thing that entrepreneurs have, which is shiny object syndrome, or you're running out of patience faster than you actually run out of money. Things take time. Building a good business takes time, and acquiring deals takes time. So be patient about this and then go try to run finding the next big thing, because you have not tried actually, instead of buying just 50 leads, buy 100, 150, make it work, improve your skills. Remember that you have to test ad platforms at the end of the day. So we got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube ads, Google PPC. Make sure that once you actually gone in a system, start testing more to give a diversification, but do not go diverse too quickly. Start generating deals, $40,000, $50,000 months. Even you can actually get to $1 million with one marketing channel. If you choose the right marketing channel, you know how to scale it, you can get to $1 million per year. And then you diversify. Then you build out a closing team so you can actually remove yourself and you stop being the bottleneck. Once you actually crack the code on building a acquisition team where you're hiring acquisition managers, your life is going to change. Now you're duplicating yourself. Other people are going to close for you. And that feeling of you knowing that you have actually gotten someone under contract, closed the deal while you're like in the patio chilling with your family, that is an incredible feeling. And then remember to leverage cash flow to actually reinvest back into bigger deals or things that are potentially going to make you more money and things that are going to be long-term assets. If you have the ability to actually acquire deals after you build a self-sufficient company that makes 7 figures, now you're going to start acquiring assets. And this could be businesses or real estate itself, because now you have built a wholesaling machine. Create a vertical integration. So for instance, if there is a service or some sort of vendor or provider that you used to use and you can invest into that, create it, partner up with someone because it's going to also help your business. Well, you can actually do this by outlines. Well, you can actually apply the same skills you built by building a 7-figure business and make more money. So if you guys got any value from this and you liked it, you want me to make more videos like this, short and sweet, telling you exactly how it is, raw, straight up, let me know in the comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, and let me know what is your biggest struggle in wholesaling right now. Let me know in the comments, and I drop a link below if you want to run your own advertising campaigns. So we have a company that will do that for you. It's just in the description below. Let us know if this is something you want to do. I'll be more happy to talk to you, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.